Hey everybody, Aaron Cowan, Sage Dynamics for Kinsey's Optics, here to talk to you about the Nightforce NX6 1:6 variable magnification optic. So this is a new offering from Nightforce in the 1:6 category, which I think is a fantastic category for your intermediate distance rifles. If you're primarily going to be shooting 200 yards and in, it's a fantastic choice to go to a 1:6 versus others. Because as we increase magnification, we usually lose quality of night transmission, and we can lose more than likely use eye relief. The NX6 1:6 is a 10.2 inch long, 18.9 ounce, 30 millimeter main tube with a 2 mRad adjustment using the FC DMX reticle system with a fixed parallax of 125 yards, giving us a very forgiving multiple distance to travel eye relief of 4 inches. So on 1 power versus going to 6 power, we are going to lose a little bit of our eye relief there. But generally speaking, the less magnification you have, the more eye relief you get at your maximum magnification. So a 1:6 is going to be a more forgiving optic than a 1:8 or a 1:10. And because it's a 1:6, you know, some people might be like, well, why shouldn't I go with a 1:8 or a 1:10? Is kind of the realistic question of what's the primary purpose for the optic. If it's just to increase magnification at intermediate distances, say 100 yards and in, a 1:6 is a fantastic choice because that more forgiving eye relief is going to perform much better at closer distances when you're using your rifle or your optic on 1 power. So if I'm setting up a rifle that's primarily for like home defense or duty, but I also want the ability to positively identify targets at extended distances, which for me is the main reason for the magnification, a 1:6 is definitely going to be a faster optic at those closer range self-defense distances, the more likely distances, if you will. So if I'm shooting 3, 5, 10, 15 yards, it's a lot easier to get into my eye box and pick up my reticle because it has more forgiving eye relief. And then when I'm shooting from a prone or a supported or even, you know, like a hog saddle, a tripod position, going to maximum of 6 power, I'm still getting really good light transmission and my eye relief is a little bit more forgiving for head placement. Overall, I think the choice of the FC, the DMX reticle, which I believe is a carryover from their 1:8s, it was a fantastic choice. I've got a lot of good available data in there that I can use for doping my rifle or for holdovers. But on 1 power setting, it really kind of lends itself well to that unmagnified sight picture that we want. We don't want anything super busy. And then when I go to 6 power, I have the availability for all my holds without my reticle being so complicated that it's difficult to use. And because it's only a maximum of 6 power, I don't need a reticle that's kind of a carryover like a Horus or something from an extreme long range standpoint. So if you're looking for an optic for an intermediate and end distance rifle and you want to have some really good quality magnification options for that, I think the NX6 is a fantastic choice.